it's important to be able to set aside time to talk. Not just about what's on the schedule.
Yeah.
Not just about what's on the to-do list, the shopping list. But I'm talking about really connecting.
Emotionally. Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back to another episode. I'm your girl, the one and only CC, and I'm joined by the one and only Babe. What's going on?
What's up, everybody? This is Will, and welcome back to another episode of the Blissology Podcast. This is a weekly podcast, and in this podcast, we talk about...
What do we talk about, Babe?
Love, life, relationship, and that's it.
Family, and what's going on? Reese's Teaser stuff. What is going on?
I have no idea what it is. But anyway, listen, if this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe and hit on the bell icon so we can tell you or let you know when videos like this one come out. And
well, like YouTube let you know, okay?
Someone will let you know. But anyway, before we get into the topic of the day, we'd like to share our blissful moment with you. So let's listen.
All right, so go ahead. Let's talk about blissful moments. So, Babe, what do you have going on? What do you have going on? Because I
always have some stuff going on.
You always do.
We started this week. It was a holiday. Monday off.
President's Day. Well, you guys said
they wanted to go out, and I found myself watching movies in the middle of the day.
I was working while you guys were home doing nothing. Do some showing.
Realtor stuff.
Yes.
But I found myself watching, actually, I watched like 2 movies.
I would say 3. Because
in the middle of the day.
3 movies.
And it was a holiday. The kids were out of school. I was working on some stuff and I figured, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen, it's good to take a moment and relax. Well, it was just a moment because later in the day, I figured I needed to work on some type of project that wifey gets. She always finds things for you to do. She's like, no, you can't be watching TVs in the middle of the day.
That's not true. I did not say that.
No, she didn't say that. But she did come and says, yes, I need to get some. Well, here's the thing. She ordered something from Amazon. She needed a shelf for her countless binders.
A bookcase that I needed.
A bookcase. Binders. She ordered something. The thing came, so I had to put it together. Well, I'm good. It took me not so long to put it together, maybe like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The thing was too small. The length. Part of the binders were just sticking out, so it wasn't deep enough. So I had to break the whole thing down and box it up. And then she's like, you know what? I need something that works.
Well, yes.
So the alternative was either have her order something else, which I didn't like. The wood that it wasn't wood, it was particle board that one was made of, which it felt like if you bump into it, it'll just break. So the next day I had to stop by Home Depot, get some wood and build a shelf. And I was very proud after I finished it. Initially I said I was going to paint it, and then we ended up keeping it raw. So I'm just going to stay in it now.
Okay.
So it looks good and it fits. The binders are not hanging like out partially. They actually all fit in there.
Mm-hmm. So what's the moral of the story, babe?
Sometimes if we build our stuff, we can get a better result than trying to buy something and hoping that it fits. Now, I measured it. The height was good, but the depth, we thought we could make it work. But after she stuck a couple of binders in, I'm like, it
doesn't look right. Yeah.
And I thought it was real wood the thing was made of. But then again, it wasn't crazy expensive. What can you expect?
Right. And I'm glad that you were able to put it together for me. And I did thank you. And I thought it was, and I know you don't want to do projects. My husband's like, I'm not doing any more projects. No. Y'all know
there are projects that takes way too much time. And it takes my focus away from things that I need to do.
I get it. But I'll tell you this. When you have a handyman husband, so you tend to feel like, okay, instead of go pay $100 on some boxes, go ahead and get you some wood from Home Depot. And let's just save $50 and make it into...
You don't quite save.
You just save it. Just the labor time, baby. Just the labor piece. Just like,
If I was charging for labor, this thing will cost
I'm pretty sure it would have cost me more. But we're talking about
you don't really
savings.
save. More like you kind of get things the way that you want it and not try to have it fit after buying it, but you can measure it and build it to the right specification. That's more like it.
So that's the moral of the story.
I built some stuff.
Yeah.
But it only took maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
From cutting the wood, measure it.
See?
And put it together and send it down and test fit it. And she wasn't there, granted.
I was just my parents.
She went to her parents and like, yeah, go work. Anyway, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, and I could have saved a whole day if you had put it together for me the Monday of instead of wait until the next day to get it from Amazon. So I
had movies to watch on Monday. I did not have any intentions of going to the store to go buy food. Listen, I made a promise to myself is that I'm not going to undertake any project unless it's absolutely necessary.
That's right.
Just stop CC from talking in my ears. I had to build this one. But it was good.
Stop from talking. You guys understand what he mean by that. Like basically what he's trying to say is shut me off and they just do it.
See, now she has her shelf.
I get it. I have my shelf. I'm happy. I have a bookcase.
She's been on my case for this thing for the last 2 months.
Yes. And there's more stuff I've been on his case since last year. And the girls,
I mounted the hooks.
I know you did. And the girls like, Mommy has been telling this since August last year. But anyways, it's done now. So
she's going to find something else.
I'm not. But like I said before, when you have a handyman husband, you rather just, instead of go buy something, it's best to just like, hey, listen, put some time aside to put this together and I'll take it. I think we should be done.
She said I can build anything. Someday I need to screw some things up. This way she just feels okay. He's just not as handy as I thought.
Babe, I'm not the only one who think you can build anything. My mom knows you can build anything.
Her mom has a new name.
My mom called. Yes, she does. She does. Your mother-in-law has a new name for you.
Yes. Hey, listen, we did a lot of work on
which is boss will.
We remodeled 2 bathrooms. We take them down to the stud, and then. But yes, that's me. Anyway, that's my blissful moment. It was good. We enjoyed it. Now she's got a shelf. No more complaining.
The moral of the story is, it is a blissful moment because I'm happy. Right? I'm happy. Got my money back from Amazon. Thank y'all. And now we are
good to go. Take that thing and go drop it off.
Okay, now you sound like you're complaining. So let's move to this topic, guys. We have a topic that I know is near and dear to many, many of your hearts, right? Not to you. Not to you. Why not? It's just not.
I don't keep topic near my heart.
I do.
Maybe something that's important.
I do.
I don't get all emotional about it.
I do. When I put the content together, I feel some type of way. I feel very emotional sometimes because sometimes you put the content, which barely happened once or twice in the blue moon.
Yeah.
But when I do put the content together and I'm like, man, this touched me. And there's part of the context that I put together. And it's like, man, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's going through it. So... or that may be experiencing it.
Listen, life can be a little unusual. A lot of us, we're hustling, we're trying to do things. And sometimes the things we're trying to do gets in the way of us staying together. It messes up with our connection.
It does. It does. But fear not. Fear not.
Why does that sound like something
fear
from the Bible?
Not. It is from the Bible because we have something. We're going to share some incredible insights and incredible tips, right, with you guys to help you keep that flame burning bright.
Don't hurt yourself in the process. But yeah, that's right. It's about maintaining that special bond.
Yes.
And there's some things we've been doing. It helps us. I'll tell you, the years that we've been together, we've developed our own ways of making things happen. And we continue to work at them because, believe me, relationship is a journey.
It is.
It's not like you do it once and it's done. You don't have to work at it. You got to work at it every day. And the one thing I know that's been on our list, and you guys have heard us talk about it over and over and over, is communication.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just something that every part of a podcast, I feel like, unless if we're just joking around, but communication is
Even when I'm
everything.
complaining, it's always about some communication, because when she keeps telling me to do stuff and keep mentioning she wants this and that, I still hear them. And I still do my best to
Yes.
to accommodate.
Yes.
So I picked up a project that I had no intentions of picking. But you know what? Communication is not just saying, but it's about listening and doing things. And it's crucial in any relationship, you know, and it's important to be able to set aside time to talk, not just about what's on the schedule.
Yeah.
That's about not just about what's on the to-do list, the shopping list, but I'm talking about really connecting.
Emotionally.
Like Sissy and I the other day, we had a conversation. We had to have a real Now we talk a lot about business.
Yeah.
And somehow it was an emotional, business, finance, money, family, how we carrying forward. And it kind of happened.
Right.
Started from one thing and led into the other. And we do set time for this. And one thing I said to anyone now, when you're in a relationship, when you realize it's an important relationship, even if you weren't like in the mindset for it, but allow yourself to sit and listen, because you can get to places.
Which is what you did. You literally just pulled one of the girls' chair.
I was squatting on that little baby chair.
And what I appreciate from my husband is too the fact that you sat there and you listened to me. Like, you know when someone is listening to you and they go like that. This is like really, they are full, focus and give you all their attention. And my husband was like this. And I said, well, this is when I know this man is like really in it with me. So yeah.
You know, what I said to any guys, and I know sometimes when women's talking to us, we try to answer before we hear the whole conversation. I've learned to literally just keep any thoughts about answers. I just keep them on the side. And I just listen. Yeah. And it took me some time to actually build that habit to just be able to sit there and listen. Yeah. Because I'm the type of have an answer for everything.
And I think you learn that because I would tell you, babe, whatever you're thinking, that's not it. Yes. And then you train yourself to just listen, not quick at respond to what I'm saying to you. So it's actually a skill, to be honest.
Oh, yes.
It is a skill because you got to be able to listen. And I would say, too, it's something you practice over time.
Oh, yes. It's not something you're going to wake up today and, yes, you become a listener. No. Right. You have to, and you got to learn to catch yourself doing it as well. Because it's, we do things out of habits. If it's something you've always done, you'll do it without even thinking. Yeah. But if it's something you want to start doing, you got to constantly be thinking, okay, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be there. When you catch yourself, just quickly switch it. Yeah. And eventually you'll find out it becomes how you do things. Right. Just developing new habits. Right. And talk about creating time to do that. Now, with us, it's a natural thing. It happens. And the moment that I'm realizing that it's happening, I'm in it. Yeah. But if you find out, it's not happening for you, create time to start building that habit. No, Sissy don't have to say, hey, we got to talk these days. We just talk. Yeah. In ours, we don't have any special place. We could be driving, we're talking. We could be, after this podcast is done, we're talking. And it happens, and we create an environment where it just happens. But in your case, if you don't have it, find some time, maybe bedtime, maybe when you get up in the morning while you're having coffee. Whatever works for you, create some kind of routine around it. And once you have that, you may become like us, where you just have that conversation wherever you are. Yeah. For us, it's been a repeating things. Right. And you find as you have repeated moments, it becomes how you do things. Yes.
I'm laughing on the inside because I can't do it, like a bedtime thing.
I'm falling asleep. So bedtime is
as he was saying that the bedtime, and I'm like, yeah, but you gonna be out.
So she knows better not to have these deep conversations with me. I bet because yes, I'm probably gonna listen for the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, like seconds, and I'll be like snoring after a few minutes.
That's me. If I'm laying down, my body thinks that I need to go to sleep. Yeah.
and then he'll be out. So definitely not. And I know for sure it's not gonna be intimacy, because I know once we start talking, once I'm like really get into it, you're gonna be out. And I know there's no way I'm gonna be able to have a conversation with you. So yeah, and I know for sure it's gonna be like, okay.
So get me while I'm standing. But communication is at the heart of it all.
Yes.
You have to make sure that you're honest, you're open when you communicate, because that lays the foundation to make sure that you have a strong connection. The worst thing you can do is you try to mislead your partner.
Right.
You lose all credibility when you try that.
Yeah.
And it's not all about serious talk either.
Although you are a serious person, you can be too serious sometimes.
It's in me.
That's in you.
That's how I am.
It's
but
the
at the same
Capricorn
time
in you.
now, I'm doing my best to catch myself at being too serious.
Right.
Because not all conversation has to be,
Yeah. That's the businessman side of you. I was like, are we doing a business deal or we're just talking? Babe? Just relax.
There's a lot of value in the little laughter, the little joy, the little moments that you can just crack a joke and smile about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could be in the, listen, I'm not the best joke telling, but if I think something will be funny, we could be having a conversation.
Listen.
And I just throw it in there. And I don't know if they're really good jokes because I don't try them with other people, but she would crack a smile.
My husband has been cracking me up since last week, y'all. This man has been texting me some weird English. My husband has been texting me some weird stuff. There's a movie on Netflix called Raz. It's like an African movie, and like his English is like upside down, backwards. And my husband has been texting me some stuff. I don't know if he's in the middle of something and just like texts me, and I'm like, babe, this makes no sense. And he sent me one on Thursday.
Yes.
It was the craziest text English ever.
Word,
You know when you missed a verb or a word, a phrase?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And I'm like, babe, what's happening? So yes, you've been cracking us up.
We can laugh about it. And this is where it's not all about this.
And this happened twice this week.
Hey, listen, it's probably going to keep happening. It's probably going to keep happening. But you know what? Speaking of joy, it's important to find every little bit of positivity to add into your conversation, because what that does, it allows you to keep it fun.
Right.
And when you're having fun with someone, I'll tell you, that allows you to connect even better, because connection is important.
It does.
And I'll tell you, you're stronger when you really connected. In fact, I think you have a good Bible verse. I can't recall. I think it's Ecclesiastic.
Yes.
Pull up on your phone, find it. I think it really speaks to how important it is to be connected.
Yeah, I'm the Bible lady, so I may not remember, but I do have a lot of favorite, Bible verses. But this one really resonate with what we're talking about. It says, a person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer.
So when you are together, you can't be defeated.
You can't.
And anything that you
can't be broken.
You cannot be broken. No one can spread you apart.
Yeah.
You have to have that bond.
Yeah.
And it starts with communicating.
Yes.
It starts with making communication fun.
Yes.
And obviously there'll be moments where you argue. It's part of life.
Yes.
But even in these arguments, there's always things that you would learn from each other, which will allow you to even understand each other better. So yes, is strength in a relationship is important. And the stronger you are, the more unified you are, and the less likely something can get in your way.
Yes.
That's why Cece and I, no one can get in this way. She's got issues, I got issues, but our issues makes us stronger.
Listen, when you put two Capricorn together, we're gonna make it happen, okay?
Listen, this verse is powerful and I like it.
Yes, and I feel like I didn't read the third part, which is 3 are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. That's the part.
So this is a powerful verse, and you're right. The idea of a cord of 3 strands speak to the importance of not just the connection between partners, but also inclusion of something greater than ourselves, which is God in our relationship.
Yes. Yes, that is so true. We do have to give a shout out to Celine on Instagram. She asked, how do you keep the conversation interesting after years together?
But this is a good question. And I know that's one thing that people who live together run into. It's a challenge.
Yes.
You run out of stuff to talk about. But this is what it becomes important to be creative.
Yes.
And you got to learn to do things together. Pick up a hobby. Because if you find that you did something now, it could just be that you exercise together.
Right.
Maybe you go into a healthy eating habits together. Maybe if you're into building stuff, build stuff with your partner.
Yeah.
Cece and I, we are in business together. So, and we're raising the children together. So sometimes conversations about what we do for the children and there's endless of stuff we can talk about.
Yeah, I feel like we never run out of conversation. We always have something that we're talking
to have
about.
a partner who always has something that.
Listen, babe, I've been thinking. Listen, God is always pouring on me, always giving me ideas.
So yeah, once you hear that, I've been thinking, that's usually something coming out. But we never really run out of stuff to talk about. There's always something. And when you're with someone like this who's always, I've been thinking.
Well, listen, I'm just saying there's always stuff in my mind that I want to talk about. Okay, so which of course is going to take me to our next tip, which is quality time, some QT time, baby, some QT time, some QT.
My score on this area is not 100, it's not 90, it's not 80, because a lot of our time is spent discussing sometimes business stuff, but that's something that this year it's on my list to make sure that I have scheduled date nights. And I know she's probably gonna say that I'll only believe it when I see it, but it's on my list and I intend to make time. But and I know it's important, although we spend a lot of time together, and yes, they are quality time, but they need to be intentional. And they need to be non-business focused. And they need to be something where we can completely look at our relationship.
Right.
What are we doing now? Part of our business is our relationship. It's part of our lives. Our children's part of our lives. But if you say, we're going to dinner and this dinner is just us just catching up on us, not business, not kids, set those time aside because that's important.
Yeah.
And, little surprises. I haven't been doing those as consistently as I should. That's something I need to do. Now, one thing I got to give us, we're good at no phone moments.
Yes, we are.
The kids are good at calling us out. If we happen to forget that it's that no phone moments, like our dinner time is a no phone moment.
The only time we have the phone is on TikTok Saturday where we sit outside and eat our breakfast and we just be
laughing at some
TikTok that I've already liked because, of course, the kids are not allowed to see other craziness on TikTok. So those...
Cece's the TikTok filtration person. She would go ahead of time, go through them, like them, and then she just pulled us.
Yeah.
We gotta do that.
We gotta do that.
I want nothing influencing my kids that I haven't seen already. Well, that she hasn't seen already.
Yeah.
Because I don't do TikTok.
Yeah, he don't do TikTok. And yes.
We have that no phone moments. And that's important because that allows us to talk. And I'm talking about talk. And we make sure that the kids are always part of those moments.
Yes.
We can't be so attached to these devices.
Right.
And that I got to give it to ourselves. We good with this.
Yes, we good.
Yeah, it's just the other stuff I got to work at, the scheduling of the dates and make sure that nothing gets in the way.
Yeah, I agree. And I think too, quality time is about being present. And I need you to be here. Like a lot of us ladies, we want our spouse or our man or our boyfriend to be present, not like scrolling.
Let me add this. Now that you're mentioning this, last Sunday, on the weekends, there's a day that she picks a movie and the day I pick a movie. And last Sunday, she picked a movie. I had no intentions of watching that movie. In fact, she watched the movie the day before on her own, and I'm like, you watch it. And then she wanted me to watch it. And she gave me the whole spiel on, this is our time, and I need to make the sacrifice and watch the movie. Now, granted, it was a chick flick movie, and so it's African movie. Sometimes these movies don't really do me, cause.
I love Lagos movies.
But listen, this is a testimony as to you. Sometimes you have to learn to let go and just let it be and be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I actually said, you know what? I put my phone away and I sat there and I watched the movie, and I couldn't believe it. I really liked that movie. I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it to, not just what was happening in the movie, but we were really conversating about what was happening.
Yes.
So it gave us something to talk about. And even afterwards, we were like picking at the characters who had what issues.
Right.
And how that created more conflicts in the movie. And it was good.
Yeah.
So I told her that you made a good choice. Although I don't know if I'll ever feel differently about other movies that you picked, but this one, it proved me wrong.
Good.
So, and that's what being present is. Had I not put the phone away and says, you know what, I know it's not my type of stuff, but
right.
I know you sat there, you watched my crazy action movie the night before.
Yeah.
And at least what I can do is pretend that I'm liking it. And after the first couple of scenes, I'm like, yeah, there's something there.
He was really into it.
Yeah, but it was good. So be present, because sometimes you realize that it benefits you sometimes more than it benefits your partner.
Yes.
So just allow yourself to be in it.
Yes, I agree.
And now I'm a chick flick movie watching.
But you don't have a choice, because when it's my night, you have to stay up and watch the movie.
And listen, for some of you guys out there, I'm sure you probably have been having your own date nights or your own quality moments. Would like to hear how you are spending some of your time. Maybe I can get some ideas and maybe incorporate that as part of, and it's good to spice things up, try new activities together.
Yes.
And that could be as simple as taking a cooking class. Now, don't tell me I'm not going to do that.
No.
But we can go out for a hike, for a run. There's been a few afternoons, although it's been a little cold here, that we just grab the kids, we put our sweatshirts on, and we go out for a walk. We even played some basketball the other day. So find little things to do together.
Yes. And one thing I want to mention is to keep the romance alive, be a little bit more romantic. Although not every man, not every people out there, not every people, okay, out there have that in them. And I think it's always good to keep the romance fun and exciting. And I think it's good to try new things, like you mentioned earlier. And I think, it's always good to surprise each other with, me, I'm one of those people where I like, when you put a thought into it, and it's like to me, it's always a thought that counts versus like, the regular thing. And although I'm not that spontaneous person, but I know it's great to be spontaneous. And I think that's something that can be fun, but I'm not a spontaneous person. I'm a homebody person.
I'm not either. but we can benefit from it. Like, she doesn't like doing things like we just pick up and do things. Although we said we'd like, but she liked to plan things.
I like to plan things, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But
I'm just going to keep it that way. Spontaneous can be planned. Hey, you just go on a bungee jumping or whatever. That's spontaneous.
No, I'm talking about I get home and it was something you were thinking. We just get in the car. We're going to do something.
We've done that. We've done that before. We've done that in the past.
We're talking about that we took a trip to Tampa.
Yeah, we're talking about that before, and I think it's something that could be fun and exciting. It just gets your blood pumping. Like, hey, let's do something crazy. And I think romance is the secret sauce that really keeps the flame burning. And I think sometimes a lot of people, as they get older and they feel like, it's a regular thing, it's the same thing. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. For us women, we want the spice things up a little bit. I'm just saying.
Be a little crazy.
Be a little crazy. And I know
she likes it when I pretend to be a bad boy.
I do. All the good girls love a bad boy sometimes. I'm just saying. And we want our men to be the bad boys, not go and get and fish for some bad boys out there. But that's just the truth. I think all good girls like to see a little bad boys in their husbands or their boyfriend. And I think it's great. And I'm sure you guys do too. So I'm just saying, okay. And I know one thing you mentioned earlier, which I want to take that to the next point, is the phone part that you mentioned, right? So I think it's great to create a tech-free zone. And babe, tell the listeners what I mean by that.
No technology, no computers, no iPhone, no tablet, no iPad, no iWatch.
No iWatch. Okay, that's a good one. And I didn't think about that one, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a moment that you can remove all distraction.
Yes.
Distraction. We can stay
Yes.
focused on your partner and your partner alone. If you go to dinner, well, we have kids, we have to have our phones around.
Yeah.
But keep
In
the
our
phone
purse.
in the purse, keep
Yeah.
the phone in your pocket.
Yeah.
Keep it on vibration. And obviously if someone's watching your kids, you expect if there's an emergency, they know to call 911 first and then call you. But don't reach out to me unless it's an emergency. And it's typically our parents that watches our kids, they won't reach out to us.
Yeah.
Unless there's like some craziness going on.
Right. And I know sometimes it's good to have a special place for some people do that. I've seen it on TV. Okay. And I think I know a few people that does that too, where they keep like a special place for all the phones goes in there. Although our kids are not, they don't have phones, and they're not going to have one until they go in college. I'm just saying, or high school or whatever. But not anytime soon is what I'm trying to say. So we don't really have a special place where we put the phone, unless if they go in the office where we're having a movie night and we have our dinner or whatever it is, we just keep the phone away. And I think it's good because it keeps us focused on each other.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's important to do that.
It's important to
Very
do that.
important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The next tip I want to share with you guys, you have to develop understanding of your partner, your relationship, and what you're dealing with, but also learn to have empathy. Because sometimes we allow ourselves not to be in a position where we can really be helpful to our partner,
Yeah.
or we get so insensitive that it becomes a problem in our relationships.
Yeah.
Listen, life can throw challenges our way.
Yeah.
And when that does happen, when it happens, it's important to understand where we are coming from.
Right.
Because something that may happen to you may have a completely different view, but if I don't allow myself to understand where you're coming from, then I'll be attacking you.
Right.
So in empathy, which allows me to really, really put myself in your shoes so
Right.
to see how I can help, that allows us to keep the relationship even stronger.
Right.
Because when you're saying you love someone, that you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, that comes with a whole lot of other responsibilities.
Yeah.
Understanding this person, being there to help this person, being there to support this person when they need you, being there to motivate this person when they're feeling down,
Right.
being there to pour into this person when they need. All of that comes with saying that you love this person. So if you want to stay connected with your partner, you got to understand them
Yeah.
in the highs and in
Yeah.
the lows.
Yeah.
Because when life throws curves, challenges at you, when life throws challenges at you, man,
Yeah.
you better be where you need to be. Otherwise, it could be disastrous.
Yeah, I agree. And I definitely agree with you. And I think too, instead of pointing fingers, I think it's good for you to try to understand where we both coming from.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that, to me, I feel like will definitely reduce the amount of divorce that's happening in the world, and where people have empathy for each other and have a better understanding of how each other feel, and how, especially in some time, I feel like in our community, because the communication is not there sometimes, and the empathy is not there sometimes, and which causes the other partner to feel like, you don't listen to me, you don't see my work, you don't see what's happening to me. I don't get your attention. I don't get the things that I feel like I need from you. So I think that's something that if we all put some time aside to really have that for our partner, it would definitely reduce less. We'll have less divorce.
Oh, yes, absolutely. One thing I want to quickly add is, remember, there's always going to be moments of disagreement.
Of course, we're human.
And what's important is how you navigate
Right.
through those that matters.
And let me be honest. We have our disagreements. We just find ways to communicate through our agreements. And I think for every relationship that's out there, if you find ways to communicate, ways to like, you know what, let me just listen and see where you're coming from and see where I'm coming from. Everything it's not going to be, sweet all the time. But we're going to have a moment, which we had in the past. We had our moment. We find ways to solve our own issues versus of bringing outsiders. Because when you bring a third party in, there goes your business out there. Because one thing my husband and I, which I appreciate from both of us, is that we don't have, unless if it's my mom, she don't have nobody else she's gonna call. Unless if it's my mom, we tend to keep our own issues, our own stuff, our own what we going through here. Of course, God allow us to be able to manage our situation and manage us to go through it and get through it. So I think it's important for you to like go to God first before you include somebody else in it, because sometimes involve a third party, a friend, a best friend, or a family member can definitely put your business out there if you don't want your business to be out there. I'm just saying.
Agreed. Now, on an up and up note, the last tip is to keep the laughter alive. Yeah. Laugh and laugh and laugh. Listen, laughter
is the best medicine of all time.
Listen, it's exercise for your face.
It keeps you alive for a longer time.
Yeah. I'll tell you. I've run into a lot of older folks. And I tell you, those who've been laughing, you can tell.
My daddy.
Those who haven't been laughing, you can tell.
My daddy shared jokes. My daddy tells a lot of jokes. And and of course, father, our priest, does tell a lot of jokes too. And of course, when you tell jokes and when you share these little moments, it really, when you laugh a lot, of course, there's time where you got to take things seriously, but at the same time, but you got to have fun and laugh a little.
You have to. Sometimes, and that's something that all of us, we need to teach ourselves to sometimes not take ourselves too seriously.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Because it takes the fun out of living.
Okay.
Not everything is a business matter. Not everything has to have some kind of checklist and make sure that it gets done. Not everything has to be.
I'm the checklist chick.
Sometimes you have to let loose.
I agree.
My kids, yes, want to give them the best disciplines, but have fun with them.
We do.
And I like it when I'm a tickle monster. Even she likes it when I'm a tickle monster. But, all those little things, somebody just go out and pick my kids and say, pick Sissy up just for the sake of picking her up.
Yeah.
And then about it.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes,
keep laughing.
I agree.
It's important.
Yes, I agree.
So we want to thank you guys today for joining us on this special episode of Staying Connected with Your Partner. Listen,
yes,
it's important. It's important to stay connected. And I can't wait for some of you guys to share some of the experiences, some of the things that you've been doing to stay connected with your partner. I'm sure there's a number of things that's possible to do.
Yes, I agree.
Please share it. We appreciate it, because at the end of the day, I think if every couple or every partner, every partnership, everyone who's together with someone, look for ways to stay connected and keep growing and keep strengthening that connection.
Yes.
We wouldn't have so many craziness going on.
Right.
So if you're doing something, by all means, share it with us.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we really appreciate you guys listening to our podcast today. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe. And until next time, keep laughing, keep loving, and stay blissful.
Bye.